Christ, Tony Gwynn Jr.
How about Hungary?
Tony needs one for the title.
Hungary?
Hungary?
Did you say Hungary?
He said Hungary.
He's not allowed to win if he calls it Hungary.
And Chris Ello.
And as soon as the white smoke comes out the chimney, they've got a new pope.
What's
and
a
everybody
chimney?
celebrates. It's a chimney. It's my version of a chimney.
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Welcome into another edition of Gwynn and Chris. Happy Thursday to you, San Diego. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Skraby. What do you know? Fernando, second game back, gets his first walk-off hit. And
we're aiming for the big cake, man.
Yeah, he was definitely going for the big cake. He had his jersey shredded off of him as they celebrated it with great joy. And Padres with a chance to sweep here tonight. 5:40 start. Martin Perez, Casey Mize on the mound for the Tigers. And Chris, Padres, they kind of, again, showed off why they are having so much success this year in that ball game last night.
Yeah, this is the party that won't end right now, Tony. I mean, it started right after the All-Star break with that, long winning streak. And, the celebrations continue. And, look, again, they get down 5-0 in the ball game early last night. Nobody anywhere who's followed this team thinks that the game is over, least of all the players in that dugout. The bullpen does what it always seems to do now, pitches shutty for 6 or 7 innings, gives the offense a chance. Jackson Merrill does what he seems to do every night, gets him back in the game. Manny does what he's been doing for 2.5 months and ties the game. And, frankly, the Padres should have won the game a lot earlier than they did. They had the crazy mishap with Peralta falling down at second base. I don't know anybody's ever seen that one before.
I forgot about that.
That kept him from scoring. I would have been a sacrifice fly. You had Profar hit a 3-run homer just a few feet foul. You had Arise hit a bases-loaded double just a couple of feet foul. You had Manny hit a line drive with the bases loaded right into the glove. So, I thought, they just kept on coming, Tony. I mean, they just kept on coming. They were relentless. And, when it got down to the last inning, there goes Fernando. And he was just the chosen guy last night because we all have a feeling if it comes down to it today, it might be somebody else and we won't be surprised. It's a great time to be a Padre and a Padre fan. It really is.
Chances are if it comes to that, it will be somebody different. That's what we've seen all season long. I mean, it's funny how much of a difference a year can make. I mean, if the Padre team last year had the bases loaded twice and didn't get anything out of it,
right,
it would have been doomed, and you would have felt it in the building. But you're right; it's the exact opposite now. It doesn't matter what the score is, 5-0, 8-0. There's a chance the Padres are going to chip away and then have a big inning, and then the next thing you know, they're right back in it. And that pretty much was the formula last night, right? I mean, they got down by 5, they got 2 back, and then Action Jackson goes Oppo Taco, and then, it's a 5-5 ball game. And then from there, it almost felt like Detroit was the one that was on borrowed time from that point on, because it just seemed like in the 10th inning, they get the runner to start the 10th at second base. First guy makes an empty out.
Grounded out.
Yeah, grounded out, doesn't move him. And, when you don't get that first out happens and the guy doesn't move, you could just see, you could feel the percentages start to just go down. And sure enough, Padres put themselves in a similar position. And once again, the depth of this lineup, it bared fruit in a major way. I mean, A.J. Hinch had to make a decision. Do I want to face the league-leading hitter in baseball or in the National League, or do I want to face Fernando Tatis Jr.? And he's probably weighing, okay, Fernando, he ain't really looked that great in his at-bat so far. He's been out since however long. This guy's been hitting all year. I'll take my chances with Toddy. And as it turned out, wrong answer.
Yeah, wrong
And
answer. And you knew it was the
reality
wrong answer.
is, it probably would have been a wrong answer either way he went at that point.
You
and
could
that's
be right.
That's what the depth of this lineup can do to any manager moving forward.
Yeah, I sent out a tweet this morning. It was aimed at my favorite people out there, all of the analytics people, and I don't think I called them analytics people. I think I was a little tougher.
You were a little harsh. You said
little
nerds.
harsher. Nerds. But when I sent it out and I said, look, my whole point was not that A.J. Hinch made the wrong decision last night. Because I agree with you, Tony. He was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. And he could have even walked Fernando, and then he would have still had to deal with, Jerks and Profar, who's had a magical season with the bases loaded and draws a lot of walks himself. So and there was almost no way out for A.J. Hinch. But my point in my tweet today, and I'm bringing this up because it seemed to create quite a stir online, it was the fact that the Padres have the team now to be able to put an opposing manager in that kind of a pickle. There aren't a lot of teams that could do it. Now, if there was a runner at second and Soto was coming up and Judge is on deck, that's one of those examples where you're in trouble. But Arise is such an unbelievable line drive base hit guy. He's so good, in fact, that you absolutely can't take your chances with him.
Well, because, look, in that situation, what do you want most?
Yeah, you want a strikeout, hopefully.
You want a strikeout. If he hasn't struck out in like 90-plus at-bats.
Yeah,
so you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And so you make the decision at that point to put him on. And listen, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I know anybody who's in Toddy's position is taking it personally. So that really wasn't news, right? Like anybody who has somebody walk in front of them, you're like, okay, I got you. I'm going to make sure you pay for this. Everybody. That doesn't matter what your name is. You're feeling that way. And so the fact that the Padres have, in their pocket, that type of lineup where you got a Rise, a Toddy, a Profar, a Manny, a Cronenworth, a Bogey, like you got to pick your poison. And obviously the higher you are in the lineup, the more potent the poison is. And A.J. Hinch found that out the hard way.
Yeah, we were talking about the Padre lineup on the roundtable today earlier. And I brought up the point, because you've been bringing it up, Tony, that Mike Shildt has got to be the happiest manager in the history of baseball, because we all know that it has been his dream since day one to be able to have a lineup that goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And that's what the Padres now have. The only time they have two consecutive right-handed hitters is in the 8-9 spot.
Yep.
And somebody brought up, on the roundtable, they said, well, that's kind of the one area, where maybe the Padres are, they have 7 great, dangerous hitters and then 2 kind of weaker spots. Well, you and I talked about this yesterday. Be careful about the weaker spots, because the catching position is combined for 24 home runs and 83 RBIs this year. Yeah, and so I don't even know that those are weak spots. This lineup is a killer right now for teams.
That is a greedy argument right there, because who in baseball are we talking about 8-9?
That's right. That has anybody.
Name me another 8-9 guy.
Yeah, right.
As a matter of fact, you can't name any of them. So, you're at the bottom of the lineup because you're at the bottom of the lineup. I mean, it kind of is what it is. But I'm not trading Kyle.
Hassan Kim will be the other guy when he gets back.
Right, and Hassan's going to be one down there pretty soon. Knock it off. 1 through 7, legit. 8 and 9 do their jobs.
Yes,
and
they
that's
do.
That's what you need. And whether it's Campy, whether it's Diaz, whether it's Higashioka, whether it's Mason or Kim, there aren't going to be too many 8-9s that you're going to find this kind of production for. You're just not. And so and that just speaks to the depth of this lineup. And you're right, Kim is not even there. It gets a little bit lengthier when he comes back.
Yeah, no kidding. And the other thing that we've already, these shows are getting a little more difficult. Yeah, I'm finding it more difficult to talk. They're getting harder and harder to do because I'm running out of ways to sing the Padres' praises, and I think everybody kind of around town is, but their bullpen, Tony, again, you look at how many, what are they up to, 35, 36 comeback wins now? That's the 4th win they've had from 5 runs down, which is, tops in baseball or right there. you can't come back if your bullpen doesn't give you shutout innings all the time.
Listen.
And once again, they did it last night. So Darvish's start, earned to me is a full success. I know he
Absolutely.
didn't pitch well, but he
Absolutely.
pitched 2 2/3 innings. He got out there, he got back on the mound, he pitched, and they won the game. So I couldn't be happier about all of it.
There's no question that it was a success from you, Darvish. I said from the very beginning, I didn't have any expectations because his time off was different than
Yes.
Joe's, right? And he came back way faster than Joe did, like way fast. Joe was like a methodical buildup. Like he went from like breaking down his mechanics to playing like flat ground catch, flat ground long toss. Then he got on a mound, threw a couple of those. Then he did a rehab start, right? As far as I know, you might have been doing things on his own when he wasn't here, but when he got here, he threw a bullpen, he threw a couple simulated games, and then boom, he was here. So, I don't know that you could have had high expectations, but he got through it healthy. Saw his velocity was fine. He looked a little rusty with the breaking ball. I mean, I think that's to be expected. He looked a little rusty with command. I think that's to be expected. All in all, a success. And then you go into the bullpen. And outside of Yuki, who threw 25 pitches in an inning and a third, everybody else was pretty much at 20 pitches. And they all threw up zeros. Whether it was Peralta, who had a nice comeback or nice welcome back from the IL. You had Morton Hone, you had Scott, you had Adam, you had Suarez, you had Estrada. It was like a spring training game. I ran out of pitching spots on my card. I had to make one up.
What did they do? 8 pitchers last night, I think.
They were all zeros when it all said and done.
I know.
And by the way, for whatever you might think of Detroit, they have the third best pitching ERA in the American League. So Padres did that against some good pitching. It's a little unorthodox. They use openers and things of that nature, but all in all, that's a pretty good staff they have over there.
Yeah, Padres are they're just playing amazingly well right now, and it's so fun to be a part of. The one thing that I caution, and I have to do this because we've all lived in San Diego for as long as we've all lived here. It's not that I'm expecting the other shoe to drop. It's the fact that it is still baseball, Tony, and the game will punish you if you don't mind your P's and Q's. And so to me, the thing that has to be incumbent on the Padres right now is to continue to play good, solid ball, continue to execute, continue to do the things right, because the Mets and the Braves and the Diamondbacks are not going away, right?
No.
So you got to keep your nose, the focus ahead in the right spot. I believe Mike Schilt, I think the players are all doing that. We're all getting carried away here in the media, and I think some of the fans are. But as long as the Padres don't get too carried away with themselves, they're going to be fine here the last 21 games.
I think you can hear that in some of the smaller messages that Mike Schilt puts out when he does the scrum, right? Mm-hmm. You're asking him about an off day. He's not going to dive into the off day. He's going to say, yeah, it was nice to have off day, but we're ready to get back here. That's what he said yesterday, as a matter of fact. He said, yeah, it was nice to get back home and get the off day, but, we're ready to go today. Those are subliminal messages, right? Because it gets put out on media, and those guys see it, they hear it, and it's just a message all right, yeah, we got the off day, but it's back to business. And he does that kind of stuff in those pressers or those scrums often. I've started to notice a little bit more. And I think that's because he recognizes the Diamondbacks, the Braves, the Mets, they ain't really going nowhere. This has been like this for a little bit now. I mean, since outside of the times where the Mets came here and the Padres beat them, they've all those teams we just named have continued to play good baseball.
Yes, they have. And I in a lot of ways, even though part of me says it would be great if they would just leave us alone and fall out of the race.
No doubt it
might be the best thing for the Padres.
I don't
just
disagree.
Keep yourself going, stay focused, keep taking care of the job at hand and the task in front of you, because you want to just keep this thing going forever if you can. And right now, there doesn't seem any reason why it won't go on.
Yeah, right now the Padres are They really are doing a lot of the things that you need to do in order to be successful.
Hey, they're 19 games over 500, Tony. Last time that happened, your team, 2010. How about that?
Yeah. We didn't get to the playoffs.
I was going to say, that's not a good omen.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying, though? It's been 14 years since they've been this much over 500.
No doubt. I know
so.
exactly what you're saying. This kind of consistency has not come often for the Padres. I mean, even the year that they got to the World Series, that team was on pace to win 100, and then they had just a atrocious September and ended up short of that. But nonetheless, the Padres are in a good spot right now. We got more baseball on the way. NFL, though, opens tonight. Chiefs, Ravens, Mahomes, Jackson.
Ooh,
Should be a lot of fun.
Toe meets leather tonight, people. Toe meets leather. Let's go.
I mean, leather meets leather.
That too.
We'll get into all of that. Plus we got our AFC. What is it?
No, I think NFC.
It's AFC South and AFC North. We talked about it before the show.
Okay.
We've already done the NFC. I forgot. I've confused this entire NFL thing
A little bit.
You have.
Oh, well,
Welcome to Skraby's world. All right, more Gwynn and Chris on the other side. Tony Gwynn Jr. here.
All right, welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. Tony is in and out today with the weird start time. He's got to get down there and talk to players, talk to Mike Schilt, get ready for the broadcast. He and Jesse will have it for you an hour earlier tonight. So keep that in mind, at 5:40 for the first pitch. Sam Levitt's Eco Water SoCal pregame show at 4:40. Until then, it's Gwynn and Chris. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Skraby. We got a Padre lineup. Well, I guess we'll give it to you right now. I was going to say, hang on a second, but that's fine. No, let's go. We'll get into the lineup, and then we'll get into what we want. I want to really talk a little bit about yesterday because everybody did an amazing job yesterday out at Buffalo Wild Wings. But since Skraby played the organ music.
I did, yeah.
We'll give you the lineup. It's pretty much the same as last night, except for one change, which I think people will find interesting. Arises leading off again, Tatis, Profar, Machado, Cronenworth, Bogarts, Merrill. And as I said to Tony, as Tony said to me, I don't know another lineup in the major leagues where you just perfectly go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. But they do. But batting eighth today is not Kyle Higashioka, and it's not Luis Campusano. Elias Diaz will make not his Padre debut. He debuted last night in the extra innings, grounded out to third base, played some defense. He will make his first start as a Padre this evening. There's a lot of people right now, at least some. I mean, based on what happened last night, Campusano, God bless him, but he had a tough night behind the plate.
He did.
Boxing balls and runners advancing, and he just has not been swinging the bat really ever since he got hurt. And Higashioka took his spot, and now Campusano getting, 2 or 3 games a week, and he just hasn't done much. There's a lot of people who think Campusano may not play again or play very much again the rest of the season because Diaz is here.
Well, we haven't. That's the thing. Is like, how do we know that Diaz is going to be better?
We don't.
Exactly.
We don't. Diaz couldn't make the Rockies.
Thank you.
So I don't
Good
know.
point.
Just keep that in mind. The Rockies are, and I know they had a young catcher that they brought up, but Diaz's defense, has dropped off from what I understand. In Colorado, his hitting hasn't been anywhere near as good this year as it was last year when he was an all-star. So, look, I hope Diaz comes up, catches fire, right? I mean, it's going to help the Padres, but I still think there's a little something left in Campusano. I don't know if Mike Schilt can find it, but I hope they don't completely give up on him. It looked, I felt bad last night. It looked bad.
It did.
It just, there's no other way to say it. Hassan Kim is not yet back, so Mason McCoy is batting ninth at shortstop.
It really opens my eyes to, we watch baseball all day, every day for a very long time. And, and it's not often you see a catcher missing balls like that.
You can't do it at the big league level.
No,
you just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a catchable ball, you can't miss it and have a runner advance. Next guy gets a bloop single, and they score because you couldn't catch the ball. I've been sticking up for Campusano as much as I possibly could all year long. I know the team really, the organization has believed in this guy. And, he started off the season like a house of fire. He's hitting over 300 the first month and a half.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't gone for Campusano. And
maybe he's the perfect guy for a reset.
I don't know. But for now, it's going to be Higashioka and maybe Elias Diaz. Diaz is playing tonight. For the Padres.
And think about the absolute luck that the Padres have had with catcher in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Diaz is going to come in at least. If he doesn't hit at least 2 home runs tonight, he's a disappointment.
He's done. Yeah, he's done.
He's a
we need to get rid
disappointment.
of him because we had the Sanchez come in last year, and then Higashioka come this year.
Higashioka, my goodness, yeah. All right, so that's your Padre lineup for tonight. They'll go for the sweep of the Tigers. Can they get a little help, please, from the Giants? Not yet, anyway. Bottom of the 6th inning, Giants and Arizona are tied 2-2 up in San Francisco. Dodgers do not play this evening. All right, before we get into, got Chiefs, Ravens.
Yes.
So excited.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Ah, man, football, man.
I can't believe it's here. I'm honestly not
It's
ready
here.
for it. I'm not ready for it.
The weather doesn't seem like it's ready for it
Oh
either.
my
It's 112 degrees outside.
It is hot.
Yeah.
Poor
But,
Lucky this morning on the walk was
he
like
was panting.
like crazy.
Yeah. It's tough for all dogs right now out there, and human beings for that matter.
Yeah, we
But
should say that too.
yeah, we'll talk about the NFL opener, but we have to thank. I'm gonna start at the top with Kevin because he was the guy that kind of running the place up there yesterday, getting us taken care of and settled in. But Buffalo Wild Wings, they did a great job of hosting our show yesterday.
Absolutely.
And so I appreciate not only Kevin, but the bartenders and the wait staff. They were running up and refilling our drinks and bringing us stuff. And that just, you guys could not have been nicer there at Buffalo Wild Wings. So thank you there. And then thank you to the fans who came out, Skraby. I saw you did tweet a picture.
Yep.
Or Adam did. I mean, it was really crowded.
It was.
I mean, there was a while there where people were waiting to get in. I mean, it was, and I'm not saying it was us. It was because we're giving away tickets.
Yeah.
It was because we're giving away Buffalo Wild Wings for a year.
And because people were looking for a cool place to stop by.
Yes, they saw the door was open, and they're like, I better get inside.
The air conditioning was great.
But the other part of it is Buffalo Wild Wings is just a nice, fun place to hang out in the afternoon. It's nice and cool in there. You get a cold beverage. You get some wings, some fries. You get salads if you want to go in that direction. But the other part, where I was sitting yesterday, I said it yesterday, but there was at least 35, 40 TVs in my view. Mm-hmm. So just imagine what it's like in there on a college football Saturday. And you can watch like 20 games at once.
And when I say intimate, I don't mean small, but it's a very
that's a good call.
Great place to casually watch a game.
In fact, one of the guys was telling me that it's one of the smaller in terms of size of locations of Buffalo Wild, but it's very comfortable in there. It's just a little more intimate.
And you get to, if you have a big party of people, they're going to help you out. We saw a bunch of fantasy football drafts coming in there after we were done, and they were drafting.
No, it was a great place, and you people came out to say hi yesterday. Thank you so much. I honestly, and I mean this, I wish we could have all given you tickets to a Padre game. I wish we could have, because everybody, was there. They were there all day. They were hanging out. They're having fun. They were engaged with the show. I wish we could have given you all tickets, but thanks for coming out, and congrats to those who did win yesterday.
Yeah, I said this yesterday, but I thought about it this morning on the walk. When restaurants and people, when they care about how much drink you have, you got a good one. I couldn't tell you how many times I looked over at my drink and it was not empty, and that was amazing. Because I've talked to people who are waiters, waitresses, work in restaurants. Iced tea drinkers are one of the most annoying drinker, because you drink a lot of it and they have to make it. So no one wants the iced tea drinker.
Do you want a refill on that?
Yeah, I get it. I don't want to make iced tea either. But anyway.
Well, you're usually an annoying customer.
I am. Excuse me.
Things have not changed.
Can I get my iced tea?
Garçon. A little iced tea, please.
Thank you, Kevin, in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, thanks for everybody who came out yesterday. We had a good time yesterday at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, we're gonna have a good time here. We got a couple of hours to go. When we come back, we'll do we will talk about tonight's game, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the NFL season kicking off 2024. Everyone's excited. We've done our preview for all of the NFC divisions. We did a couple of AFC divisions yesterday. We got 2 more to do today. So stick around for that. It's all coming up next when Gwynn and Chris returns. ball. Or, better yet, let's kick it off.
Toe the leather. Toe to leather.
Toe to leather, yeah. Toe meets leather.
Toe meets leather.
Yeah, it's the good old days of the National Football League when the pigskin
was actually pigskin.
Yes, it was. 2:37 is the time. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. is at Petco Park because we have some baseball to deal with as well tonight. Matt Skraby's alongside. But, you know, it is. It's exciting to a lot of people. The start of the National Football League season. Tonight, Chiefs and Ravens. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they chose a good game.
Yeah.
I think it's I like the fact that the defending Super Bowl champ gets to play the opening game on Thursday night at home. Yeah, I think it should be. Last year was a terrific game. If I recall, the Lions went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, we all thought maybe Kansas City's on its way down.
Well, we thought that all year long, frankly. The Chiefs were only 11-6 last year. They were only the 3 seed. And then after they beat the Dolphins in the freezer game, remember, they went to Buffalo, and then they went to Baltimore and beat both those teams on the road. And, of course, the storyline was, Patrick Mahomes has never had to play a playoff game on the road.
Yeah,
that was the dumbest thing anybody ever said.
Storyline.
Because as soon as you said that storyline, he took care of it. So, yeah, the Chiefs are the team to beat. I think even if they're 9-8 this year, people will still be scared of them.
Yeah, of course.
In the playoffs. Baltimore, I think, has a little payback in mind, although you can't really get payback in week 1. I mean, Baltimore beats them tonight. So what? The Chiefs still won the AFC Championship last year.
They still won the Super Bowl.
Right. I'd still take that. But, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, that's going to be fun to see that dynamic.
I think Derrick Henry's in for a big year. I really tried to get him in my fantasy drafts. I got him in none of them.
You got to pick your poison if you're a defensive player. I mean, when they do that little, zone read thing where you either hand the ball or you pull it if you're Lamar Jackson and run around the end. Let's just say you're playing the Ravens.
Yeah.
What would you rather him do? Would you rather him give it to Derrick Henry so that he can run over your line? Or would you rather Lamar Jackson keep it so he can sprint past everybody? Either way, it's a bad choice for the defense there.
You're either going to get crushed by Derrick Henry or you're going to get juked by Lamar Jackson.
Derrick Henry is a monster. So it could be interesting. We'll see what happens tonight, but everybody's excited about it. I did see we're going to do our look at the AFC North and South divisions, so the 2 we have left.
Yes.
But I did see a couple of Super Bowl predictions today on the NFL Network, Skraby.
Is that right?
I thought you'd be mildly interested to hear this.
Okay.
One guy in the AFC picked Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo. I mean, they made a lot of changes. Maybe they'll all be for the better. Maybe subtracting Stephon Diggs is what Buffalo needed. I don't know, but
I don't know either.
We'll see. A couple of people picked, of course, Kansas City. I think somebody picked Baltimore. I mean, those are the teams you're going to pick. Anyway, the NFC, there were 4 guys or gals, and I think it was their morning show, the NFL morning show.
Yes,
whoever they are.
Yeah.
So the 4 of them picked their Super Bowls. They picked 2 different teams, 2 picks apiece. All right? Care to guess which 2 teams were picked?
Eagles?
Nobody picked the Eagles.
Really?
Nobody picked the Eagles.
49ers?
Nobody picked the 49ers.
I think I heard that you said someone picked the Rams.
Nobody picked the Rams.
Who? I don't know.
The Lions,
okay,
which I think is understandable.
Yeah.
The other team that was picked twice, the Pack.
Oh, my goodness.
People are in love with the Packers.
I'm surprised the Bears weren't picked, to be honest, because that's how many people love the Bears.
People are really flying high in the Bears bandwagon right now.
The do people realize the Bears have been mediocre for years and years and years?
They were 7-10 last year, which isn't as bad as you thought they were.
It's pretty mediocre, though.
It's not great, but it's
great
only a
at
couple
all.
of games away from being in the playoffs.
I know.
And people are expecting Caleb Williams to be, he's the Paul Skeens of the National Football League.
He is. They've
already anointed him as the Rookie of the Year before he even steps on the field. So.
I understand why people are picking the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. And I know that people are going to hate the 49ers all year long because they want the Lions.
Well, we're
to go to
tired
the
of
Super
seeing
Bowl.
that story. I mean, the 49ers are going to, going to come up short at the end.
I get it, but can Jared Goff do it again? Can he run it back?
Why
That
not?
team's success
Why
is
does everybody
defined
think
by Jared Goff.
But why does everybody think Jared Goff can't do things? He led the Rams to a Super Bowl. He led the Lions to within a stone's throw of the Super Bowl. There aren't too many guys that have led two teams to the
You're right.
The doorstep of the Super Bowl.
You're right.
So people who are not fans of Jared Goff, fine, but I don't know. The guy's proven he can do it before.
He has, but can't he?
So why can't
This
he?
is a lot of pressure on Jared Goff because
The
he just
pressure's
got the
on
new-
because you're right. The pressure is the thing
contract.
they're going to have to deal with. Everybody's expecting things from the Lions.
Yeah, they're expecting things from the Lions, and if they don't perform this year, Detroit Lions fans are going to be angry.
Well, Detroit Lions fans don't have anything to be angry about.
What are you talking about? Their team's never been good.
That's my point. So the fact that you're good now leaves you with nothing to complain about, Lions fans. I mean, 1957 is before almost all of you were born out there.
Yes.
In fact, probably everybody who's a Lions fan wasn't born.
That was 28 years before I was born.
It was 10 years before the NFL and the AFL merged.
Okay, there we go.
It was 10 years before the Super Bowl came in.
That's
the
crazy.
last time the Lions won something. So
The kneecap cannibal, though, he was in an
He's the
Applebee's
guy.
commercial.
He's the guy.
It's amazing. Did you see this Applebee's? You'll see it probably 400 times.
No,
Oh,
I
you
haven't
don't watch
seen
commercials.
Yeah, that's right. I could go. I'll try to slow up the DVR for that one. But the cannibal.
Cannibal.
What was his first coaching job? Do you know?
Saints? Oh, Dolphins. He was the
Interim coach of the
yes.
Dolphins.
It was the most random thing ever. Wasn't it just one game and he took
One or two
over?
games? Yeah, I don't remember even what the situation was, but
They
that's
fired
somebody.
Philbin?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Jerry Philbin or
Joe
whatever.
Philbin.
Joe Phil. Boy, was he a bad coach.
You remember that?
And not only was he a bad coach, he was the star of the Hard Knocks that year.
He was.
And you could just tell that he had no idea. Like, he had no chance.
And wasn't Chad Johnson on that team?
I don't remember. I put that in the. I pile that
that in
in
the
with.
rearview
I
mirror?
pile that in with all the other losing seasons that the Dolphins have had. But NFL season kicks off tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why don't we? Well, give us a little NFL music. If Tony can get in here, he'll get in here. But you and I got to do our picks for the AFC North and the AFC South. Is that what we're getting for NFL music
correct.
today?
Oh, you want the actual? Because you told me the other day you wanted me to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I'd
so-
like a little change up. That's fine.
But
Go with that.
I just deleted it, so we're back to here.
Okay, we're back to.
I'll get another NFL song because I can't use this for all of our NFL.
Yeah, get it back by the time of the season. All right. So just a recap. A little recap. We got a minute to recap. AFC, we all picked Kansas City. In the West, we all picked somebody different in the East. I went with the hometown call, my call, Dolphins. You went Bills, and Tony went Jets.
Yeah.
That is really the only division, I think, where we've had really much argument. And the NFC, I think all of us went with the Eagles, did we not?
I think so.
And we all went with the Lions. We all went with the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference there was, I think, Tony and I had Tampa Bay, and you chose the Saints, if I'm not mistaken.
I did not choose the Saints.
You didn't?
No.
Who'd you
No.
choose? Falcons?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Saints, unfortunately,
You're not
I
feeling
think
it?
they're going to be kind of bad this
Not
year.
feeling it for the Saints. All right.
Well, it's all these experts are telling me they're going to be terrible this year, and I don't really understand it. But okay, we'll see it.
I understand it.
I do too. But like,
What have the Saints done lately?
didn't they almost make the
Saints-
playoffs last year?
Yeah, they tied the Buccaneers for the division title, but the Buccaneers won the tiebreaker.
Yeah, so they could have been in the playoffs.
Let me just tell you something, and you know this is true. The New Orleans Saints franchise history comes down to two words: Drew Brees. Anything before or after that, pretty much been a disaster for the New Orleans Saints.
It kind of has. You're right.
So, then they don't have Drew Brees anymore. All right, let's start with the AFC North. You and I, Skraby. We'll get Tony's additions later, because I know he's busy.
Yes. Oh, you want
Who are
me
you
to go?
picking to
Sorry.
win the AFC North? Now, this is a division. All four teams last year finished over 500.
They did.
I don't know if that's ever happened before. The Bengals were in last place at 9-8.
Yeah.
So
I
who
think,
wins it this year?
This was the toughest division, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to go with the team that won it last year in the Ravens.
You're going with the Ravens to run it back.
Yeah, I got
And
to.
really run it back with
And really run it back.
Derrick Henry now.
Yes.
By the way, the AFC North will be the mid-season or in-season subject of Hard Knocks this year.
The AFC North?
They're doing the whole division. A little
Okay.
different. They're trying to add a little sparkle to it because I think the
why.
franchise might be getting a little stale.
I don't know why I hate it when they do these drastic change. Not because it's different, but because they're like trying to hang on to that original idea. Like, come up with something new.
So you think Hard Knocks ought to go away and it's time for...
No, I don't think it needs to go away. But it's not for me anymore. I couldn't watch the Caleb Williams stuff. I couldn't watch the Aaron Rodgers stuff.
Look, I like the receiver show on Netflix. I like the quarterback show on Netflix. I like Hard Knocks. But really, there's no difference among any of them.
No.
And that is where we are getting so much access now.
Yeah.
That access alone is almost not enough. You're right in a lot of ways. We might need something else to be invented.
Yeah, I don't know
to
what
give
it
us a
is,
reason
but-
to watch all of this because we've got to live day to day with Patrick Mahomes and almost every other player in the league now.
It's cool, but it's everywhere. It's like podcasts. Everybody has one now.
All right. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win the AFC North.
Bengals.
Yeah, but it's all down to Joe Burrow. He's got to stay healthy.
He does.
But the one thing that the Bengals have that no other team has in the NFL, they have a quarterback that can beat Patrick Mahomes. He's the only one.
It's true.
Who else can say it?
No,
So as long
no
as
one.
they can say it, I think the Bengals are a threat. They also have my favorite defensive coordinator in all of football, Lou Amarillo or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
you do
I love
him.
that guy. He could shut anyone
Still
down.
hasn't gotten a head coaching job. I
I know. They won't give him a head top job. So I'll take the Bengals, but it's going to be a tough fight. Cleveland's in there. Pittsburgh. All right, last place. I'll start.
Okay.
I can't, in good consciousness, do it to Mike Tomlin. So I think Pittsburgh is the likely team to finish last here, just on paper. But I can't do it to Mike Tomlin. He always finds a way. He's done it every time. So that leaves Cleveland to finish last.
Really?
I don't have anyone else. I get the Bengals. I'm not picking them. I'm not picking the Ravens last. So I think Tomlin will find a way. I'm pick Cleveland as long as they have Deshaun Watson. I'm going to root against them. How about you?
All right, I'm going to go. I know I thought about the Mike Tomlin angle so many times, but I can't really say.
Can't see him working his way out of this.
I can't see it because the division is so good. I'm going to go Steelers.
Steelers last. All right. MVP, Joe Burrow for me. For you, Lamar?
Oh, Derrick
Jackson.
Henry.
Derrick Henry MVP.
Yes, I'm really high on Derrick
You love
Henry.
Derrick Henry
Yes.
this year. I think everybody likes Derrick Henry except for people who have to try to tackle him.
That's true.
Breakout player in the AFC North. Who's gonna dance up and down this year in the fantasy world or whatever?
I think George Pickens has a good year in front of him. because
Really?
He actually has a quarterback.
George Pickens.
Because when he wants, this is the problem. When he wants to play, he's
Can
really
you
good.
imagine? Can you imagine being good enough, being given the God-given talent to do something that almost every young kid dreams about? You are actually given the opportunity, and you have to be motivated to perform.
Yes.
That's pretty annoying, honestly,
It is annoying.
from where I sit.
It is very annoying to me as well, but he is one of those guys, and he has the talent to take it to a next
Hey,
level.
George, are you here today? I don't know. Like, really?
Yeah, that is kind of hard to deal with.
God.
Who are you saying?
Zay Flowers,
Okay.
Baltimore, wide receiver.
mean, they
He's
got
going to
no one
break out for the Ravens. Disappointment in the division. I'll go first.
Okay.
Tony's not here to defend Russell Wilson.
Uh,
But I was right last year, I think, on him being a disappointment. And the year before that, his career's, I think it's over.
hey, wait.
I think Pittsburgh may have, I honestly don't think he'll keep the job past September. And I think Justin Fields will start being the quarterback. And, Tomlin will find a way to win some
Man,
games.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Russell Wilson was a great quarterback.
Great.
But the word was. Who's your disappointment?
I'm going to say the Browns. I don't
Oh,
think
well.
they're going to come in last place, but everybody's picking the Browns to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they
so
gotta-
I'm going to say the Browns are disappointed. But
I don't
by
know
the
how
way,
you can
the
pick the
kneecap
Browns.
cannibal Applebee's commercial is on right now. He's like a waiter, and he has his coach headset on, and they have to talk behind the menu. It's really funny. It's really funny. Anyway.
Okay, I'm watching some of it right now, but I can't hear it. All right, you're taking the Browns as your
Yes.
disappointment. That's
Yes.
a cop-out. Take a player. Take somebody who's going to just blow it.
Okay, let me think. Let me think.
Somebody's going to just, Jamar Chase. Like he's going to fumble the season away.
All right, I'll say this. T. Higgins.
There you go. T.
Contract year, but he seems like he's also disgruntled.
T. Higgins disgruntled. All right, AFC South is next. I think this is another difficult division to pick. Everybody was very close. Houston, Jacksonville, and
this is close
Indy
too.
were all within one game of each other last year. Houston ended up winning it. Tennessee wasn't awful, but they got a new coach. Who you got to win the AFC South this year?
This was tough.
This is a tough one.
I think.
Who you going with?
The Jaguars are going to take a step.
Jaguars are going to beat the Dolphins Sunday, and that's going to send them on their path to greatness.
Yes, just ascension from beating the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, you beat the Dolphins. You've got to feel good about yourself.
Because the Titans, I'm not sure about.
Texans?
The Colts, I'm not sure about. And the Texans, I'm definitely not sure about.
The problem with the Texans is they now have to deal with expectations. Teams don't.
There we go.
I mean, you can sneak up on people, and now this year everyone's going to be ready for the Texans.
Absolutely.
I'll pick them anyway.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a mediocre division. I think that, I like the addition of Stephon Diggs, but I know everybody hates him off the field. I don't know. The guy catches 150 passes off. He's pretty tough. They got other guys on the other side, and they had a good running back too, didn't the Texans? Somebody? I don't know. I like the Texans. Last place, Tennessee for me.
Same.
MVP of the AFC South. I don't know. Is C.J. Stroud the real deal? We'll find out. To me, it's either him or Richardson. They're both really young and fun and exciting quarterbacks. So I'm going to say C.J. Stroud gets it done.
I am going to say, you didn't name this guy, Trevor Lawrence. If the Jaguars are going to win the division, he's got to be the MVP.
Trevor Lawrence, all right?
I mean, if he doesn't have a good year this year, then we know what we have in Trevor Lawrence. He's an average quarterback in the NFL.
Trevor Lawrence stopped being good at halftime of that playoff game against the Chargers. He was up 27-0, and he lost that game.
No,
and he never recovered last year. Yes.
Oh, last year. I thought
2 years ago they played the Chargers. They were up 27-0 at halftime.
No, the Chargers lost.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say what?
Yeah, my bad.
No, the Chargers lost because that was an epic blunder.
The brain
okay.
cramp.
It's
What
okay.
can I tell you?
It's okay. It happens to me every
Brain
day,
cramp.
Chris. Every single day.
Yeah, I should have known the Chargers lost that one. Breakout players: Richardson for me.
Everyone's
gonna know who he is.
I was gonna say yes. I was gonna say Josh Downs, wide receiver for the Colts.
You got him.
Okay.
Disappointment for me will be Trevor Lawrence.
All right.
Because I don't think he's going to bounce back.
It's gonna be C.J. Stroud. Have you ever seen that guy
we're
throw a
swapping
baseball?
them.
I can't trust a guy who can't throw a baseball but can throw a football. Have you ever seen this dude throw a baseball?
Was it?
It's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Really?
It's like a type of throw.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Daily Gambit. Lots more still to come. Big Five. Chris for the fans. Get you ready for Padres baseball. And it's the debut of our NFL Pick'em segment. First time this year. Coming up a little later on Gwynn and Chris.
And Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
The pitch from Foley, swung on, hit through the left side, and a base hit. Merrill rounding third on his way. Green's throws got no shot, and Fernando is back. Tatis wins it for the Padres. They mob him on the left side of the infield. A walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Padres beat the Tigers 6-5. They will take their brooms out here tomorrow night.
And hopefully they'll be able to use them after the game later today. Jesse Agler, of course, there on the Padres Radio Network with Tony Gwynn Jr. Last night, Fernando Tatis Jr., surprising to many, his first career walk-off hit.
It's very surprising to me.
We haven't talked about the controversy of, walking a rise. And A.J. Hinch, like Tony and I said at the beginning, they couldn't win. Arise is the best singles hitter in baseball, and a single wins the game. So you had to take your chances righty on righty with a guy that's been on the injured list for 3 months.
Yeah.
So I don't think A.J. Hinch made the wrong decision. But I just wanted to point out, for those analytic folks
Here we go.
who don't think Luis Arise carries any value whatsoever, it's not true. He does carry value, and that showed it.
Do you think
If he had no value at all, they wouldn't even think about, whether they want to face one of the most dynamic players in baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr., but Luis Arise does have value.
Luis Arise
He
is
gets
a lefty,
hits.
right?
He's on base all the time.
He's a lefty, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it was more of a tip of the cap by A.J. Hinch that, hey, we are more afraid of you, Luis Arise, than we are of Fernando? Because it changed the whole dynamic of the
Well,
at-bat.
of course it was. Of course it was. That was his choice. Who am I more afraid of? I can either take a guy who's the best singles hitter in the game, where a single beats me, or I can take a chance with a guy that, although dynamic and a superstar, has been rusty, sitting, idly by for the last 3 months.
But
Luis Arise was much more dangerous in that spot, and so A.J. Hinch made the decision. But my thing is the analytics people tell me over and over and over again that Luis Arise is a totally inconsequential player, and I just can't stand hearing it all the time.
No, I'm with you. He's not inconsequential.
No,
He's obviously
he's
has
far
great value.
from that. But his WAR is 0.7. His WAR is the same as, I don't know.
That's why the WAR statistic doesn't work. It does not work. It's not taking into account
I don't
what's
think it works
actually
either.
happening on the field.
I don't think it will. People who follow it and live by it will tell you that
and it's a good way to look at two players real quick. Okay, this guy versus this guy.
It's not a good way to look at two players because, for example, Jackson Merrill, 3.7. Mason Wynn, 4.5. Who's better? I'm not knocking Mason Wynn, but who's better?
Jackson Merrill.
Just do the eye test. Who's better? Who's been better? Who's been more clutch? And I know, Mason Wynn plays shortstop and plays it well. Yes, he does. Makes some great plays against the Padres, as a matter of fact.
He
and
was
he
very
had
good against the
really
Padres.
good series against the Padres. But you got to be kidding me if you're going to look in the mirror without, laughing, if you think Mason Wynn's had a better year than Jackson Merrill. But that's what WAR tells you.
It does. It
So
does.
that's why I can't stand it.
I know.
I had to
We've
stop.
we've really taken our hatred to WAR.
Yes,
for...
I had to stop it.
That's all right.
I had to stop
you
it
could
because
feel that way.
I know, but I'm overdoing it. Somebody did, put out a good tweet last night in response to my tweet about the WAR. WAR, what is it good for?
I see that
So,
too.
yeah, I like that one.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Okay, let's get into some winners, losers. Actually, we didn't make any selections last night, but we have some good ones for tonight because the NFL was built on gambling. So might as well get to our daily gambit then.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Now, someone on the chat said that their girlfriend is listening for the first time, Chris, and said I sound like Patrick Mahomes, so I need to really get my voice level down a
You
little
sound
bit.
like I can't do a Patrick Mahomes Kermit the Frog voice. How do you sound like that?
I've said it before. I will never do his voice again, so I cannot do his voice again. I'm a man of my word.
I don't
in
see
that.
you doing Patrick Mahomes either.
All right.
I think
Well,
you're safe.
all right. I have been called Kermit the Frog many times, actually.
Wow.
Okay. We didn't make any bets, as Chris said, but I have a few prop bets. But let's go with, well, do you want to go with my prop bets, or you want to go with yours
No,
first?
do what you got. I mean, look, the NFL season's starting, so what do you
Okay.
have there? Anything
All right.
exciting?
Yeah. Anything exciting?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to have Patrick Mahomes over under 271 passing yards, and a half passing yards today, Chris.
Over, under? What does that mean? Over or under?
Over, under. Do you think Patrick Mahomes has
Oh,
over?
do I think?
Yeah,
271?
and a half.
No.
Really?
Say under.
Okay, I'm going to go under as well.
Okay. You were stunned that I went
was.
under, and then you did the same thing.
I was. Do you think Rashee Rice,
Yeah.
over under 62 and a half receiving yards? I'm going to say he goes over.
He's the big breakout guy for Kansas City. He's also an idiot. He is. Anybody that drives their car into a pile of people and then lies about, sorry, I can't get behind them.
I know.
I just can't. So under.
Under.
Because
okay.
I'm mad at him still.
You're still mad at him.
Yeah.
Did you get him in
holding
any
a
drafts?
grudge. I didn't get him, no.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, as much as I'm mad at him, if he had fallen to me, I probably would have taken him.
I would
He
have
is
taken
pretty
him
good.
too, in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
He's pretty
In
good.
a heartbeat.
Yeah.
All right, here's a fun one that, is kind of random. Derrick Henry over under 8.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, because he doesn't ever catch the ball, right?
No.
But if he
all
catches
he needs is one.
Right, he catches one, he busts a tackle, he's over 8.5.
Yeah.
I say he's over. I say Baltimore
They're gonna dial
puts
up
that
a
in
screen.
the playbook.
Yeah,
tonight.
they're going to dial up a screen. I say over as well. And the final one is going to be Lamar Jackson over under 47.5 rushing yards in the game. I'm going to say he goes under in his first game.
Nah, no way.
No?
Gonna take off, gonna run around, and he's gonna be a blur.
He's going to be a blur.
And he may do it on the first play of the game, so I'm gonna say over.
You're going to say over, I say
That's why I
under.
hate betting under on a Lamar Jackson rushing total, because he can beat it at any moment.
Yes, he can. In one run.
Yes, he can.
All right, that's it for me.
Is he the greatest running quarterback? Is there really anyone that should be even in the conversation
Vick.
with him? Michael Vick, yeah, very good.
But Lamar Jackson.
But we've all tried to forget Michael Vick on for what that's worth. So.
He has somewhat of a redemptive story, but
He does.
I don't know that he ever won MVP, did he?
Michael Vick?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so that
Lamar
goes
Jackson's
to
won it twice now.
twice.
Yeah, he'd like to win some rings though. All right, what do you got? Kansas City -3 over Baltimore. Who you picking here to win the game or win the spread? Skraby.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Baltimore +3.
Yep.
I'm also going to take Baltimore +3.
Baltimore.
I feel a Baltimore win tonight.
Okay.
47 points over under total.
Over under 47 points.
You know what's funny? I mean, we talk about trying to hit a parlay. Just try to hit one of those. Pick the spread and the over-under, the total, in the same game. You can't even do that. That's how hard it is.
Yeah.
So we're both taking Baltimore. I'm going to say Baltimore, 47 points. 24-21 is not even enough. I'm going to say under. Baltimore and under for me. What are you doing?
I think it's gonna be like 21-17. So
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
under.
say under.
I know you're not good at math, so I have to help you.
Thank you.
All right, we're both saying Baltimore and under, so you can pretty much count on it being Kansas City and over. Derrick Henry's rushing total is 64.5.
Yes, 64.5.
Yeah, what do you think about Derrick Henry there?
I don't know. He's going to get the 64.5 rushing yards. I'm going to say under.
Under 64.5.
He's going to have a 64-yard reception.
You know, it's funny. The Chiefs' defense was awesome last year. When everybody forgets it, everybody thinks it was all Mahomes who won the Super Bowl, and he did his thing.
Yeah.
But Kansas City's defense was great last year, and that's why they won the Super Bowl ultimately. Having said that, Derrick Henry goes over in his Ravens debut.
Okay.
Travis Kelce, 56.5 yards.
I think we've seen the best.
Which is the same,
Kelce.
I believe it's the same total as times we see Taylor Swift on camera, 56.5. Going over or under on that?
I'm going to go... See, I'm not sure yet which Travis Kelce we're going to get. If we're going to get the falling off, I'm getting older Travis Kelce.
Or Super Bowl Travis Kelce, who's unguardable.
I'm not going to bet against him in an opener with a national audience. I'm going to go over.
Over? Okay, I'll say under. Jessica Pegula.
Oh.
U.S. Open women's semifinal. She's in her first ever semifinal. She's the daughter, of the Buffalo Bills ownership.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Pegula.
All right.
Number 6 seed, taking on unseeded Carolina Mugava. And Mugava is a very good player. Been in the semifinals of a major before, but not seeded because of injuries, etc. Neither player has lost a set yet in the tournament.
Dang.
As they meet in the semifinal tonight. Pegula is a 2.5 game favorite. I'm taking Mukava. I think she's got a little more experience at this level. Even though Pegula is the seeded player, I'll take Mukava here with the games. What about you?
Yeah, you got Buffalo Bill blood.
Buffalo Bill blood. They get a little tense around this time, don't they?
I'm gonna go with Mukava.
You're going to get Mukava also. Mukava, okay. Yeah. Double Mukava.
Oh, Mukava.
Mukava, yeah. It's Muchova.
Oh, okay.
Most people think it's Muchova, but it's certainly not that.
Muchova.
Yeah, it's not that.
I would have said that.
Okay. On the men's side, tomorrow, I'm really looking forward to it, but it's not till tomorrow night, so we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
But Fritz is going to play Tiafo, the 2 U.S. players, in the semifinals tomorrow evening. But tomorrow afternoon, the top seed, Yannick Sinner, the Cheetah, takes on, not Cheetah, but Cheater.
Takes I thought you were calling him Tyreek Hill.
Takes on 25th seed Jack Draper of Great Britain, who got all the way to the... Yeah, Draper's in the final 4. Taking on Sinner, though. Over under 35.5 games for the match. 4 sets would probably get you right around 35. If it goes 5 sets, it's going over for sure.
Well,
if it goes 3 sets, it's going under for sure.
Sinner is juicing, so I think that he's going to take care of business early against Mr. Draper. So
you're going to go under. I'm going to go under also. I think Draper's met his match here. Sinner wins easily. And tonight, Padres Tigers 8 runs. Over under. What you think?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I got to go first in one of these.
Okay, you go.
Martin Perez. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I don't think Martin's... I think Martin had a little magic there when he first got here.
I do too.
He may go 5 innings, 4 runs tonight, and then the Padres will, come back and dramatic
what, the Padres,
5 style somewhere.
Yeah, probably. That's what they do every night.
Yeah.
The Padres are going to be riding high today, so I'm going to go under.
Under. Perez.
I mean, I'm saying that he's going to have a good start. Martin Perez.
Got it. All right, we'll see how our picks do tomorrow. We have a full show tomorrow. Before the Padres are in San Fran tomorrow night.
They're here.
The game, that's right, San Fran is here. San Fran right now is still 2-2 in the 9th inning. Top of the 9th inning, Diamondbacks batting against the Giants. Still 2-2 there in San Francisco.
I had my San Francisco friend draft last night, fantasy football draft, and all of them are just complaining about the Giants. And
do they want to run Bob Melvin out of town?
Yes, they do want to run. They call him Sleepy Bob.
It's pretty funny because Bob Melvin also managed on the other side of the bay. And he was really good.
He was really good with less help.
And I remind everybody around here who is not a Bob Melvin fan, and you know who you are out there.
Yeah.
All right? I just remind you, all of you, that when the Padres got within a couple of games of the World Series a couple years ago, the manager was Bob Melvin.
He was.
I know you forgot about that because they didn't get anywhere last year. but he still took them places they've rarely gone.
He did, but I will be the devil's advocate and say what everybody else will say. Well, he was still the manager when he didn't put Josh Hader in to face Bryce Harper and left Robert Suarez in to give up a home run.
Okay. So all of a sudden now people are Josh Hader fans.
Yeah, when it fits their argument, yes, Chris.
That's
they are.
right. When it fits the argument.
You know, they're fine with Bob Melvin staying one more year. But they're really
the Giants had a lot of
Zaidi.
They had a lot of injuries though this year. I mean, in fairness to the Giants,
they did.
By the way, Blake Snell started that game today for the Giants. 1 inning, allowed 2 runs, threw 42 pitches, and was done.
Was he injured?
Not that we know of. I haven't seen any bulletin of any kind.
So why don't you go out there and
42
put some more
pitches?
Up, Blake Snell.
That was it for Blake.
Like really?
Yeah. 42 pitches, 1 inning today.
I'll take it if the Giants.
I won't take it. I needed him to go 6 shutties today. We needed a win from the Blakester. Needed to help the cause.
See, I was just bringing that because Giants fans are talking about that. And as we were talking about Farhad Zaidi, Fernando hits the walk-off, and they're like, just be quiet. Just be quiet. I don't even want to hear it right now. We know the Padres are good, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Giant fans don't want to hear from you at the moment. All right, Giants are now coming to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Still tied at 2. We'll keep you updated there, and we'll keep you rolling here after check of traffic.
From the
at the moment. They're only 3 up on Atlanta and 3.5 on the Mets. Mets don't play tonight. Braves have the Rockies at home, so you can imagine what's going to happen there. You know, the Rockies only jump up when they're playing the Padres. But, you know, it still behooves the Padres to stick with us here. You know, they're playing unbelievable, and they've been unbelievable for, 2 months. But they got to finish this.
Yes,
because the Braves and the Mets and, even Arizona lost today, but those teams aren't going away.
No.
The Padres have an unforeseen slip up here. Those teams could still get back in it. So, win tonight, keep on winning. Got the Giants coming in this weekend. So
it's going to be
keep it going.
The rest of the month, outside of maybe the White Sox series, is going to be like
interesting,
really tough baseball.
Well, the last 6 games are going to be really fun.
Oh yeah, really.
They
fun.
really are. I mean, at LA, you hope that you still have an outside shot to catch the Dodgers. They're 4.5 back right now.
Control
It's
your
not
own
impossible. It'd be nice to go up there and, win 2 out of 3 and close within like a game.
Yep.
But the final weekend in Arizona, I mean, you might just be playing for a home field advantage.
You could
which
be.
is I think it's a big deal. I know the Padres are a great road team. And they are. They're the best by a long shot on the road. Still rather play the, 3-game series here at Petco Park.
I will take.
I just would.
Are you kidding me? This place would explode.
That'd be awesome.
Just
Be
like
awesome.
it did during the NLDS against the Dodgers, just like it did in the NLCS, even though they lost.
How about the series against the Cardinals, even though there was no fans? The city
there.
was on fire.
I was lucky enough to see Fernando
You were
do
there.
the bat flip in person.
Right.
And us
There was no one at those games, yet the buzz in this town was off the charts. With no attendance.
People were driving around downtown because it was COVID
crazy.
and it was all socially distanced.
It was
great.
crazy.
It was great.
Yeah, so play them here as much as you possibly can. All right, I got your guy.
Oh, God.
Russell Wilson.
He's not my guy. He's Tony's guy.
Oh, but Tony's not here, so I got to blame you. He's already making excuses for why he's going to stink this season. Says his calf is starting to bother him.
Oh, gosh.
I love people who do this ahead of an opening game. You're building in excuses. Now, who would you rather have, Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson? Here's what Lamar Jackson said. Listen to this. It was in the Washington Post. And apparently this interview took place a few months ago, but it was just published today. Lamar Jackson, quote, about losing to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game last year. Lamar Jackson said, "We would have won the damn game if I would have been able to move around for my guys. With me just hurting and I can't move, I know if my legs were good, we would have won that bleep. We wouldn't have even had to throw that bleeping ball."
Okay, I don't.
You know you don't want me to keep doing bleeping.
Yes.
But here's my thing. Lamar Jackson is basically ahead of tonight's game, putting a target on his back by coming out and saying, we should have beat the Chiefs, and in a healthy me, we would have. He has no reason to say that at this point, other than to get the Chiefs a little ticked off about it.
It's pretty dumb.
Right?
Because I don't necessarily.
But I'd still rather have Lamar Jackson on my side than a guy who's already making excuses for why his season's going to be terrible.
Well, isn't that what Lamar Jackson did? The reason we lost the game is because I was hurt. Okay, well then, are you actually hurting your team by being out there, Lamar? Would you guys have been better off with someone else playing quarterback?
Certainly, Ricky Huntley would have, whoever they. Tyler, I don't even know who the Ravens' backup is. Honestly,
he's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, whoever their backup is.
But
yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that you say.
So
we
what
would have
do you?
won the
Okay,
game.
what do you like? What do you dislike more? Russell Wilson already making excuses for why he's going to be terrible, or Lamar Jackson making an excuse for a game that was played 5 months ago against an opponent he has to play again tonight? Who's dumber? Well,
I think Lamar Jackson is.
I think Lamar Jackson's dumber, but I dislike Russell Wilson more.
See, yes.
I don't like coming out before you start and already saying I'm hurt.
But was he just asked, like, how's your calf or something, and then they took the quote?
All right, let me, you know what? In the fairness of being fair.
We got to ride, Chris. That's right.
I know.
I'm sure that he was asked about his personal.
Let me
how
just
he
see what
feels
it
heading
says.
into the season or something.
He was limited in practice.
There you go.
Coach Mike Tomlin said he won't say when Wilson informed him of the tightness in his calf. The quarterback will be further evaluated. Tomlin said his calf got tight, so we want to exercise some precaution. Wilson was initially scheduled to speak with the media, but delayed his availability to tomorrow. So he didn't really say anything. It was Mike Tomlin who said it.
See? There you go. He had Mike Tomlin deliver his excuse.
I really love Mike Tomlin, and I love our boss, Michael Valenzuela, and their Steelers and the world. I just can't get behind anything with Russell Wilson right now. I just cannot do it.
Really.
I'd like to try, but I can't.
No, me neither.
Hooky doke. We'll take a break. When we come back, Big Five time. Tony's back for that. So see what's on our mind as the Gwynn and Chris show rolls on.
Where would you
Tony Gwynn Jr., Mr. Skraby, Padres Tigers, getting a little payback for the 84 World Series. Doesn't it feel so good, Padre fans? Yeah, Tigers beat us, what was it now? 40 years ago, that World Series.
Wow.
We're finally getting them back.
Wow, 40 years.
Yeah, 1984. How about that? All right, let's check some traffic out there, and then we're set for today's Big Five.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. One big reason why you want to be extra careful on the road this afternoon. Who really wants to get into an accident in this intense heat, guys? Yeah, just pay extra attention out there. Be extra alert. Do have a couple of problems here. Cordell Traffic Cam shows this collision south 163 for University and 6th in the Hillcrest area. Still got the fast lane blocked. Also going to find a crash on southbound 805 just past El Cajon Boulevard. We got a couple of vehicles involved in this one. They're over the right shoulder. Stop by into the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change Centers. You don't have to get out of your car. Usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, Tony's down there at Petco Park, and it's really hot outside. Chris and I are in the sauna that is the Odyssey Palace.
I think I'd rather be in the studio or the booth with Tony, honestly. At least there's air in there.
There's air circulating.
There's some circulation in here, at least.
I mean, we are in an absolute sauna recording this Big Five today. So
really, it says on the wall 81 degrees right now.
And
81 inside is not good.
And more humidity. And so by the end of this Big Five, I'm going to be salty. No matter what the question is.
All right.
Number 5.
Last night, we saw the Greek god Fernando Tatis Jr. running around the field with his shirt off. And I couldn't help but think about the time Jerks and Profar walked it off against the Nationals, and the Nationals took exception. I think the Tigers could feel the same way. I'm not sure if they're going to feel the same way. Tony, do you think the Tigers are going to take exception to Fernando Tatis Jr.'s celebration?
No. Toddy's celebration was like standard celebration, with the exception of they added the, I would say it's like 2017 shredder, where they kind of shredded his uniform on there. Outside of that, that's pretty standard for what most guys are doing on a walk-off non-home run. You know, it's usually some form of jumping around somewhere in the middle of the field. I think what the Nationals took exception to is that they felt like it was directed at them on their side. I mean, Jerickson at one point was on the third base side, foul territory, and was pumping up the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So I guess for them it was a little too close for comfort, I guess. But, you know, I think everybody thinks that they jumped out the window on that one and probably overreacted.
Yes, I think so. Chris, what do you think the Tigers are going to take exception?
I don't think they have a right to take exception, but then I really didn't think the Nationals had a whole lot of right to take exception either. So, you know, this is standard fare now in baseball. You know, walk-off hits or celebrations. I mean, you get it's a party on the mound, you know, or in Jerickson Profar's case, a party over at the third baseline. And I don't blame Fernando getting the shirt off, because you know you're going to get Gatorade dumped all over you, so you might as well, you know, be free of some of the clothing. This was a big moment for him last night. It was a big win for the team we talked about earlier. You know, this is his first ever walk-off hit he's ever had, which is
insane.
Very surprising to a lot of people. And, you know, we all know that he said so. He took exception to the fact that they walked the guy ahead of him to face him. So he had every right to be as excited as he could, and I think the Tigers probably understand that A.J. Hinch is, this is a guy shouldn't really say too much. You know, the old glass houses thing. I think AJ was the manager of the Astros trash can team.
Yes.
So
trash.
So
Just
he's eliminated from all trash talking.
He can't complain ever again. That's right. That's his penalty. That's his penalty, Tony.
Sentence.
That's right.
All right.
Number 4.
Now, Tony, we did actually talk about Whit Merrifield being unhappy yesterday with pitchers in baseball throwing heat rather than actually locating the pitch in the zone. We'll get your opinion when we have a little bit more time, because this, I think, is going to live on for a little bit. And I was thinking about ways they can police it, because that's what Whit Merrifield wants. He wants to police it somehow. And you can't throw at anyone anymore. Pitchers aren't hitting, so you can't buzz their tower. But I think maybe you have something similar to the NBA technical foul rule. If a pitcher throws into the head and neck area a certain number of times, then they will be suspended. You have an umpire in New York determine this for workflow purposes. But Chris, do you think there needs to be a rule to address this?
I don't think there needs to be a rule. You know, I'd like to believe that, you know, baseball can police itself. And every time, you know, there's some sort of controversy or somebody gets angry, you know, that we don't have to write a new rule for it. However, having said that, I think we might be headed in that direction. I mean, I kind of think Whit Merrifield came off as, you know, I said it yesterday. I thought he was whining a little bit. But the more I've thought about this, you know, he's bringing up something that is actually happening in the game right now, which is a lot of guys are coming up, throwing 100 miles an hour, and don't know where it's going. And, you know, the safety of these hitters is, you know, come into question a little bit. So, you know, the only thing that a hitter has is, you know, the thought that a pitcher knows they could face some sort of penalty if they hit him in the head. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of free. It's a free shot. And so that's what Whit Merrifield was saying. So I would love to think that we don't need a rule, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put something along those lines in.
Tony, do you think there needs to be a rule to address this?
I don't know if there needs to be a rule, but I thought when I saw Whit Merrifield talking about, I felt for him. Dude just got squared up in the back of the head with 94. Thankfully, it was only 94, because that's kind of like the low end of what these guys are seeing most of these nights. It's usually a lot higher, and I agreed with him. I agreed with literally everything he said in that. I mean, you got all these cats coming up that don't know where it's going. You know, maybe that's where you start. You know, stop letting guys up who don't know how to throw it anywhere near the zone, because, you know, it is dangerous. And, you know, for all of the complaining about, you know, the offense being down, there's a ton of reasons why that is. This doesn't help, though. Like, your life literally could be flashed before your eyes getting hit in the dome. Lights could go out forever. And so, and that might sound dramatic, but when you watch Whit Merrifield get hit in the back of the head, that's the first thing I thought of. Like, you know how lucky he is to even be able to get to a knee and have that conversation with the way he got hit. So I don't know that I necessarily think there needs to be a rule, though. I think teams just have to be – they got to protect the league in itself, right? And you protect the league by saying, hey, you can't come up here until you can, you know, command the ball, at least somewhere in the four quadrants.
I hate to tell you that, Tony, but I don't think teams could field a 13-man staff if that were the case these days.
Of course they can. They gotta hire some guys who can teach it and, you know, make it a requirement. I know it's a crazy concept, but, you know, that's kind of how it has been.
Why not dial
forever.
it back a little bit to find your control?
I just don't think you know, the more I talk to pitchers, the more, you know, you hear from them. I don't think dialing it back is like a thing. It maybe dial it back enough to be able. I mean, I don't even think it's a thing. I think they'd rather take the consequences of them not necessarily being able to command it and go on from there. I don't see you can't put that back in a toothpaste.
Yeah,
or a tube, I should say.
Yes, in the tooth bag. Tony, Tony, you still are holding the record for fastest pitch ever in an at-bat in Major League Baseball. Ben Joyce was 105.5. He was the fastest strikeout pitch ever, but you faced Aroldis Chapman in 2010. So you still have the record.
You know what's funny is I saw that live, and it said 106. So I was like, oh, well, there's a new fastest guy. But then, you know, They obviously rounded up on TV.
Yeah.
TV
And,
being dramatic.
You're still in the record books, my man, and we're rooting for you.
Yeah.
I'm still in the record. You know what I did see about that? There were some, I assume it was Padre fans, taking exception with the Dodgers broadcasters who were saying that Joyce wasn't throwing 106.
Yeah, they didn't believe the gun.
They didn't believe the gun. Now, I'm all for the idea that, the gun now is, catching it out of the hand versus at the plate. That is true. But chances are if he's throwing 106, that's the same 106 we've been, like the same 95, that's the same gun. So, I mean, I don't think it just said, oh, Joyce is on the mound, let's jack this up a little bit. I mean, he was probably throwing that hard, man. It's not that crazy of a concept.
Yeah, that is. They were saying that. It was like.
But I
okay,
did find it
guys.
hilarious that, people were so upset about
Oh, well, I don't care about that.
claiming. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah,
it was really only because it was the Dodgers.
Because they were talking out of the side of their mouth like, I can't believe this radar gun.
Number 3.
ESPN announced something recently about their coverage of certain sports, and it's angering people, and I'm one of those people, because ESPN's going to use generative AI technology to provide fans with incremental game recap stories for the Premier Lacrosse League and National Women's Soccer League. The added coverage will be added to existing coverage, and the initiative will extend to some other sports in the future. These AI-generated recaps aim to enhance coverage of underserved sports, providing fans with content that was previously unavailable. These sports do not currently have game recaps on ESPN platforms, and these AI-generated recaps will be a tool to make this all better and not replace it. So, Tony,
what's your beef with it?
Many people are saying the same thing. Why not hire real people to do this?
Gotcha. Oh, my God. You know the answer to the question.
I know the answer, but, they're trying so hard to save money that they're going to a computer for this.
I would challenge the word save, because save indicates that you're trying to you don't have very much, so you're trying to save. I think in these cases, they're trying to make more money. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to do here.
They're trying to get better coverage of these sports that don't have any and get some of those people more interested in their platforms. I understand where they're coming from. I know what Skraby is thinking, I believe. And that's a dangerous precedent to try to read your mind over there. But yeah, I think all of us to a certain extent wish that maybe AI didn't get invented, because it's out there taking, potential jobs away from people and creativity away and all of these things.
Fast food workers are being replaced by computers.
Right, I get you, but I don't know how you can, stop progress.
Make laws. Say, you have to have a human being in a fast food restaurant. You can't just have a computer.
Yeah, let's just keep making more and more rules.
I want more rules, Chris.
Yes, you do.
Tony, what were you going to say?
Man, this is kind of a tough one, obviously, because AI is not going anywhere.
No.
It's only going to become more prevalent. And,
I saw a video of Trump the other day, waving a gun around, and it was fake. And I'm like, man, this stuff is getting too real. Too real.
Yeah, no, it's both scary and fascinating all at the same time.
That's a good way of putting it.
It's one of those things, man. As we get more technology and I guess in some ways smarter, although it doesn't always feel like that. These are the type of things we'll be doing. AI is here, and as much as I would love for those jobs to be taken up by human bodies.
Yeah.
What if it's just like an internship? Because that's how you can't get into these things anymore. There's no entry
I get where you're going, but progress is what it is. And if I told you had to get an old typewriter and pieces of paper and whiteout to put out the daily grid of the rundown of what we're doing on the show, you'd probably complain about that. The fact of the matter is, now they have computers, and you can type on there, and you can go back to yesterday's rundown and make notes off of that. I mean, the computer world in that regard, the progress has made your life incredibly much easier.
Typewriters don't have an unemployment rate.
I get where you're coming from, but progress is progress, and people are going to have to try to keep up with it. And if there's not enough room for people to work in fast food places, then people are going to have to aspire to, higher jobs where there might be some openings. I mean, read the landscape. I mean, learn AI, learn IT work. I mean,
I've tried to do the coding thing. I don't have the brain for
I
it.
know, I don't either, but
I tried to.
You have to sit back and go, hey, this is
so difficult.
This is where the jobs are now. And maybe there won't be as many jobs at Burger King.
Someone hire me to be an AI character or something. Then I'll be in on it.
I mean, I don't even get the whole AI thing, honestly, number one. And number two, if ESPN didn't tell me that the report on the lacrosse league game was generated by AI,
you would never know.
I'd never know.
I don't know this for sure, but I think they have to make it clear when things are AI. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyway, good conversation, guys.
Number 2.
We are seeing more and more NFL quarterbacks play late into their 30s, and even some are now playing in their 40s, a la Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Troy Aikman thinks he knows why, and he was on a podcast talking about it. He said it's the protection on the quarterback. He played 12 years. He would have played much longer, but now they're playing up to 40 because they're being protected by the referees. Here's the quote. Quarterbacks just aren't taking the punishment we took when I played. Anytime a quarterback does get hit, they're immediately looking for a flag. I should put together a highlight reel of the worst hits that I took, and you would think these players would probably be banned from the NFL, and there wasn't even a penalty on the play. It's changed a lot for sure, which he's right. I mean, he used to get all those quarterbacks.
Who's that?
Troy Aikman. All those quarterbacks used to get destroyed.
I mean, that's how his career basically ended, wasn't it? Like concussions, wasn't it?
Yeah, endless concussions.
Neck stuff. Chris.
He was getting cracked.
Yeah.
Do you agree with him?
I do. I agree 100%. I saw a post the other day, and I don't know if it was on Twitter, and I still call it Twitter, but I don't know if it was there or if it was on YouTube when I was, scrolling through. But what it was a 1970s version of CBS's intro into the game of the week on the NFL. Did you happen to see this, Tony?
No.
You know when they go, welcome to today's broadcast on CBS. It'll be the Eagles against the Giants. And while they're talking about all this, they're showing a bunch of highlights from the NFL.
Yeah.
They showed like 10 plays during this highlight package. Every single one of them would be illegal now.
It would.
You wouldn't be able to do any
like
of
some
them.
guy taking an elbow to someone's head.
Some guy clotheslined another guy.
It's crazy.
I mean, the game used to be just mayhem compared to now. And this makes perfect sense. I mean, Aikman's right. I mean, quarterbacks are going to stay healthy longer, more than likely, because they're not getting banged up as bad. I agree with this. That and the fact that there's just so much more information now. I mean, Aikman didn't sit there with a tablet on the sideline, breaking down, his last drive. And I think, so once you get a little, you're more experienced, and now you're getting.
They had still shots. Didn't they?
Yeah,
Were they looking at still shots?
Yes,
back then?
they used to have some kid run them down from the press box and hand them to Troy Aikman. So now somebody that has experience like an Aikman, he looks at the information he's getting, and I mean, he knows how to process that.
The shots are like from a spy plane just down on the field. I can remember them like flipping through them as they're like stapled together. Anyway,
I remember Bob Greasy used to get the photos by Pony Express back in my day, the early days.
Tony, do you agree with Troy Aikman?
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty obvious, honestly. Like, can you imagine? I mean, and look, the rules changed because they wanted more points. They wanted to keep the quarterbacks upright. And can you imagine the likes of Joe Montana or Steve Young or any of these cats that, I mean, Dan was already ahead of his time. Marino, could you imagine him with the rules now? Like, it'd be ridiculous. It really would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
that's a great
I don't
point,
necessarily
Tony.
think
not only was he getting lit up, Marino and Aikman, but their receivers were being tackled while they were trying to run down the field, which no longer happens.
They were being tackled. They were being decapitated.
Yeah,
like,
right.
The middle of the field wasn't even like an option for everybody back then. So
that's a great
I mean,
point.
yes, the rules have changed significantly. Football might be the one sport, and obviously guys are bigger, stronger, faster, but I don't know that there would be, especially at the quarterback position, that there would be like so much a drop off if they played with the same rules, right? If Marino and some of the best we're talking about, like, they would have been lighting it up just like Tom and these cats are.
Yeah, probably for sure. All right.
Number 1.
A Japanese bodybuilder claims he is a quote-unquote true master and has quote-unquote doubled his life expectancy by only sleeping half an hour per night for the last 12 years. Daisuke Hori, he is 40 years old. He said he trained his body and mind to function normally and not feel as tired as he targets around 30 to 45 minutes of sleep each night. He relies on remaining active and drinking caffeine to keep awake and alert through his 23.5-hour day. Yes, yeah, that sounds really healthy.
Yes.
Health experts say he's not telling the truth. This is not possible. You cannot go on 30 minutes of sleep per night for the last 12 years, and this is extremely dangerous. Tony, what's the longest you have ever stayed awake?
I stayed awake a full 24 hours before.
It's pretty rough.
It was very rough, and the tough part about it, this was 1991, so I was 9 years old.
Oh man, you were.
I was in Toronto.
I thought you were pulling an all-nighter for an exam.
Yeah.
No, I've never done it as an adult. I've only done it as a kid. I stayed up. It was at the All-Star game in Toronto. I stayed up a full 24 hours, and it was time to go to the game the next day. I had not slept the entire day. I slept through the entire game and some that next day. That's how, I mean, I was hurt. And then that's probably why I've never done it again. I think psychologically it was like.
It really affected you.
Really stupid. Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's pretty bad for 9 years old. I can imagine that. Chris, what's the longest you've ever stayed up?
I think it was a whole weekend.
Oh, whoa.
Whole weekend.
Whoa.
It wasn't my.
Was it a bender?
No, it was not a bender. Well, yes. But all of it was forced. All of it was forced.
It was a forced
You were
bender.
kidnapped? Sounds horrible.
I was not kidnapped, and I don't want to tell any stories out of school because all of this stuff's supposed to be secretive. But it was all part of my initiation into my fraternity at San Diego State, and
2 days. That's crazy.
I will say that there was no physical harm or any of the stuff that you think you hear and read about. It was nothing like that.
You weren't
Yeah,
slapped
right.
with a
You went to
paddle?
school in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
There's no way there wasn't something crazy.
It was the crazy part was that they kept you awake for so long, and they filled you with so much alcohol that you started to believe pretty much anything they said. And that was kind of the whole mind gap there. Meld. So that's I go back to my initiation weekend. I would do it again. It was a great time in my life being part of the fraternity. I know people have heard horror stories, but it wasn't. I might be making it sound worse than it was, but we were very busy during the entire time.
Cleaning toilets and stuff.
That was part of it too.
There's nothing more disgusting than a frat house bathroom.
Not after we were done with it on those weekends.
That's true. All right, that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, Chris versus the fans, 833-288-0973. Get in line right now.
Padres, Tigers, today.
This one is gone!
Pre-game, 4:40. First pitch, 5:40. The Padres play here on 97.3 The Fan.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
All right.
right, sports fans, let's talk stats. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. And of those men, many will experience bladder leaks. That's why Depend is partnering with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage getting screened. Because if caught early, prostate cancer is up to 99% treatable. I like those odds. Depend is also donating to prostate cancer research for select purchases now through November. Learn more at Depend.com. From September through November, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. For Depend shields, guards, real fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000. Void in Mississippi.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
With clinics in Mission Valley and Carlsbad, call 619-826-6631. That's 619-826-6631. 619-826-6631. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, football fans, it's Brian Baldinger with the new Journey to Kickoff presented by Hyundai. After losing in the divisional round for the third straight year, Buffalo's offense was shaken up by their top 2 wideouts going elsewhere this offseason. They'll now have
.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go into the happy hour portion of Gwynn and Chris. Happy hour coming a little early today. That's because the Padres play a little early today. A 5:40 start against the Detroit Tigers. Sam Levitz, Eco Water, SoCal pregame show, comes up about 40 minutes from right now. Until then, Skraby and I, along with Tony Gwynn Jr., rejoining us for our NFL Pick segment. Week 1 of Gwynn and Chris NFL Pick'em. It all starts today, Skraby.
It's my least favorite segment because I'm not a part of it.
You really, I don't know why we never let you, but we just...
It just has been that way.
I don't think it works as well with 3 people,
no,
honestly.
It wouldn't.
I think it's one of those segments, the way we do the picks has to be a 2, but you do get into the playoff picks, but you don't make regular season.
That's just me being a selfish
No, I think
person.
it's fair. It's fair to be upset about it. One thing we did forget to mention today, as the Chiefs get ready to play the Ravens tonight, and they're a little over an hour away from the start, Matt Ariza makes his long overdue debut in the National Football League. So good luck for Matt Ariza tonight. I will say this, Scrabe. If he punts even one tonight like he did at San Diego State, everyone's going to go, wow. Because, not everybody's seen this guy punt the football like we have. And if he hits one of those 70, 80-yarders, it could be really fun tonight.
Well,
so
I think he was doing that in practice, and people are like, oh, dang.
Yeah, we'll see what Ariza can do if the Chiefs are forced to punt tonight, which I think against the Ravens, that is a good possibility.
Good shot.
Yeah. All right, let's get to, we got a little Chris versus the fans. We got a prize to give away that Skraby has kept to himself over there.
I have, and the prize today... If you beat Chris and Chris versus the fans, you're going to win a pair of tickets to Saturday's San Diego State football game against Oregon State.
That's a good one. What if I win? Can I get the tickets? Damn.
Grab tickets at goaztecs.com.
That's a game that I think a lot of people are going to want to go to.
Yeah, I think so, too.
People are going to go, okay, you beat Texas A&M. Commerce. And the fans can't, there's 20,000 almost there, so I want to see what Sean Lewis is going to do against a real team.
Yeah.
Saturday night, Oregon State.
I'm hoping it's not like the first half of the game against Commerce.
No, it better not be, because they'll be down 35-0 if they play
quick.
like that again.
All right, so let's just play the open, and then I'll get to the rules.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, the rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player... I forgot.
I was in on it.
I know, I forgot. Let us know that
you forgot what you get?
Yes.
You get the first question for free.
Thank you, Chris, if you tell us before you start. And Chris vs. the Fans is brought to you by SD Fat Loss. Lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. Visit SDFatLoss.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Kevin, the manager at Buffalo Wild Wings, is the defending champion. He won yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was good, too.
Kevin was on it, man.
He was. And thanks to all the other people that played, because that was kind of fun.
A lot of people stepped up. And, that's not easy to do in front of a crowd of people, and try to do trivia on the radio. It's hard enough to come on, right here on the phone. Those folks, nice going yesterday.
Nice going. All right, here we go. Let's get started with Wyatt in San Diego. Hello, Wyatt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Pretty good, Wyatt. Pretty good.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What color is the 8-ball in billiards?
Oh, my God. Come on.
That is black.
Black is correct. Sometimes people tell me the questions are too hard in number 1.
I know. Have you ever sunk? Have you ever played pool, by the way?
Of course.
Okay. Have you ever been lucky enough to sink the 8-ball on the opening break?
No, I thought that would make you lose.
No, you win.
Automatically?
Yeah.
Because the 8-ball should be in the middle, right?
It's in the middle. But if you can
Have you ever done that?
I don't know. I think I did, but I was probably...
I did not know this.
I was probably on a bender. Going back to the last segment.
I know that if you hit it in before you get all the other
Somebody
balls
help me. If you're a pool player out there, let me know that I'm accurate. I think if you sink the 8-ball on the break, the game's over.
Do you know Wyatt?
Wyatt, do you know?
I have no clue.
He doesn't
I've
know.
only gotten it after the break, but very shortly after, to where I lose.
yes. So, yeah, like me.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. What kids' cartoon show was Aaron Judge recently featured on?
That was Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol is correct.
Wow. What was it called?
It's called Paw Patrol.
Oh my goodness!
And
How would I know that? I have no children.
Because it was like on
Should I have been watching?
MLB.com.
I didn't
his
see it.
stats since Paw Patrol have been awful.
He hasn't homered in quite a while, right? He's been on
Here.
51 for a couple of weeks now.
Hold on, I just pulled it up because
His Paw Patrol stats.
Ever since he's hitting 194 with no home runs and 2 RBI since August 26th.
My goodness,
since
that's
his
funny.
Paw Patrol debut.
Oh God!
So Paw Patrol's the reason they stinks
I
right
will
now.
tell you, if I was Paw Patrol, I'd be concerned because those Yankee fans are capable of anything.
Paw Patrol's pretty fun.
All
I
right.
say.
Very good, Wyatt. You're on to the final question.
Wyatt, do you
with
have
that.
kids? Is that how you knew that?
I don't have kids, but I'm always online, so I saw a clip of it on Twitter where he
Yes.
breaks his bat one short of 50 or something like that.
Yes.
Very good. All right, Wyatt.
All
Paid
right.
off for you.
Here we go. You get this right or Chris gets it wrong, and you are going to that Aztecs game on Saturday. What American League pitcher has thrown the most innings this year?
What American League pitcher has thrown the most
AL
innings?
pitcher.
In baseball?
In baseball.
So he's thrown more than any NL
Yes,
pitcher.
I gave you the AL to hit.
You're narrowing it down a
Yes.
little bit. Well, that's a
I'm
tough
going to guess
one.
Cole Reagans. I feel like I've heard his name.
Wow. Interesting guess.
Interesting
Okay.
guess
Cole
is correct.
Reagans.
Yeah.
The fact that you know who Cole Reagans
Yeah.
is, I think, is pretty good.
It's interesting. Stay there, though.
All right, I'm going to take a pretty wild guess also.
This is a wild guess.
But I think it's a legit guess. The only two guys because if you'd have said National League, I'd have said Chris Sale or Logan Webb. But you said American League, and I don't think Skubal has pitched that many innings. He seemed like he comes out early. The guy who was talking about staying in games was our old friend Seth Lugo. I'm going with him.
You've got to be kidding me.
Is that right?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
I'm really sorry, Wyatt. I thought you had
Wyatt.
it. I thought
you
had it.
You got
I think he has got 182 innings.
Really?
Yeah.
Seth Lugo, yeah, the guy who couldn't pitch more than 50 innings.
That's true.
I love these analytics people.
By the way, Adam just texted me saying, forget about the Madden curse. It's the Paw Patrol curse. And I'm right there with him.
There you go.
I'm right there with him.
Yeah, Seth Lugo, he's been pitching great this year, right? What can you do?
Yeah, he is.
So,
all right.
That is ironic because he was like Mr.
No,
how
yeah.
can we ever get him over 50, 60 innings?
Yeah, exactly. He's going to need to take a break in the middle of the season.
His arm will fall off.
His arm will fall off.
People.
All right, let's go to Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, how's it going? I
Pretty
actually knew it was Seth Lugo. He's been a star on my fantasy team.
Tom was ready for that one.
Nice
You'd have been
job,
ready for that.
Tom.
Good job, Tom.
All right, here we go.
I probably will get the next one wrong. Let's go.
Question number 1. Where did Derrick Henry play college football?
Fair question.
I'm going to say Georgia.
Georgia. I know that Chris
It's close. Alabama.
Yeah,
I think he won the Heisman Trophy.
I'm sorry, Tom, but congratulations
Tom.
on Seth Lugo.
I'm glad for Seth Lugo, though. Yeah, it is good to have him on your fantasy baseball team this year.
All right, let's go to Jose in Chula Vista. Hello, Jose.
Jose. Good to talk to you, Jose.
All right, here we go. Question number 1.
Yes, sir.
What country are the Packers and Eagles playing in tomorrow night?
Is it France?
France. I don't know why I did the dramatic pause, but I did. Stay there. Chris may not know
Wait a
this.
minute. Is it Brazil? Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, Tom. Or Jose.
Jose. Sorry, Jose. Yeah, Brazil tomorrow night where everybody's supposedly in danger.
Everybody.
Tune in.
All right. Let's go, Luis and Lemon Grove.
Hey, I feel
Hello,
this
Luis.
one. I feel you, Luis. Let's go, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All
He's,
right,
he's ready.
Question
Is this the
number 1.
Luis who whipped me the other day? Was
Did
it
you-
this?
did
Was
you
it
beat-
you, Luis?
Luis, did you beat Chris the other day?
Sir.
Oh, my God.
Yes, sir.
He just whipped me the other day.
Oh, I'm sorry, Luis. You won this week, right?
Oh, yeah. He can't win twice in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't?
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Next
know
week.
that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay,
Next
It's all right,
week.
Luis. I only did that
No
because I
worries.
didn't want to lose to him again.
Well, that's an honor, Luis. I'm
Yeah, it's an
sorry.
honor,
I'm
Luis. But
sorry.
yeah, you got the rule. We do have a couple of rules, and that is you can only qualify once a week.
Yeah.
Because Luis won the other day, and he was really good.
Yes, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But all
so
right, here we
moving on,
go.
Moving on.
Dan in El Cajon. Hello, Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Aztec fast, baby.
Aztec
Hey, there you
fast.
go, Dan. We're off to a good start.
All right, Dan, here we go. Question number 1. What Cincinnati Red leads baseball in strikeouts this season?
Yeah, pitcher or hitting?
Hitter.
Hitting. So which hitter struck out the
Yes.
most?
Correct.
Which hitters whipped the most?
Struck out the most at bat.
It's the shortstop, but I don't know his name, so I'll just say Gallagher.
Gallagher.
I almost want to give it to you for shortstop.
Just for coming up with a name. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's your old friend Ellie De La Cruz, I believe was his name.
Sorry about
Good
that.
try, Dan. Sorry about that, but go Aztecs. Happy to hear an Aztec fan there.
Okay, let's go to. I know that there's people on the line that are like, I'm probably up next, but we need to take some other callers. I'm sorry. Matthew, let's go to you. Hello, Matthew.
Nobody's saying anything. Just go to the next
Hi,
caller.
how are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Matthew, thanks for
You
being
ready to
with
play?
us.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
He's
here we
ready.
go.
Here we go. Making me nervous over there. Come on.
Who is the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons?
Starter?
Yes.
This week?
Yes.
Okay. Who's going to start for the Falcons this year?
Oh,
No
no.
clue.
Okay. Let me give him a better question because that was off the top of my head. Who is the Padres' 7th inning guy? Pitcher.
7th inning guy.
Estrada.
Oh, no.
It's the A of ASS. Jason Adam. Sorry. Kirk Cousins
Sorry.
is the Falcon quarterback. All right. You got one more, maybe.
Yeah, because Let's go to Brandon in El Cajon. Hello, Brandon.
What up, Crazy? I'm at work. Can you hear me?
I can't
We
hear
got you, Brandon.
I can't hear you.
Good luck
Brandon's
to
a
you,
good
sir.
player. So here we go. Question number 1. What team? I ran out of question number 1. I'm trying to come up with it off the top of my head. What team did Kurt Warner play a Super Bowl with? What 2 teams? I'm sorry.
The Rams and the Cardinals.
The Rams and the Cardinals. Okay, good job. I'm out of my own head and back
What
to the basics.
supermarket did he work in as a stocker in Iowa?
Piggly Wiggly?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I
throwing
thought
it
you
out
knew. Question number 2. Whit Merrifield started his career with what team?
The Royals.
The Royals is correct. And here we go to the final question, number 3.
Go get him, Brandon.
Where did Michael King pitch in college?
Boston College.
Boston College.
Whoa, is that right?
Is correct.
Yeah. All right. Very good, Brandon.
There you go, Brandon.
That's a
Stay
nice
right
display
there.
of
Stay right there.
acumen there.
Yeah, stay right there real quick, Brandon.
Well done. We got to check traffic. Brandon will check in with Skraby. He'll get the details on his Aztec tickets to see Oregon State Saturday night. We'll come back with one final segment on Gwynn and Chris.
From
All right, Padres Tigers pregame show. Sam Lovett shortly. Gwynn and Chris wrapping things up for a Thursday. Full show tomorrow. Skraby, you got any line on a Friar Friday guest yet for tomorrow?
We're still
working on it.
We're still working.
All right. You're going to be sweeping through the clubhouse after the game tonight to try to set something up?
Yes, I will. And then they'll kick me out of the clubhouse
I'll never
for bothering the players.
I'll never forget Joan Musgrove getting you this year.
I know. I never got a chance to go in. The timing was like, he had a great joke. His mom played a joke on me, too. Yeah. I wanted to go down there and talk to him about it, but then he got hurt and all of that stuff.
I haven't been in the clubhouse myself for a while.
Since the playoffs?
We are always doing our show before the game. I can't go down there before a game.
Yeah.
And after a game, I got to get to bed. I'm an old guy. I can't be going down to the clubhouse.
See, I like going down to the clubhouse if I on a Friday night because it takes so long to get out of the parking lot that I might as well go kill time in the clubhouse.
Fair enough.
Getting audio for Sammy Lev.
Fair enough. Anything to do to help Sammy Lev.
It's true.
All right, Tony and I, every year, like 7 years in a row, we do NFL Pick'em each week of the season. Here is today's first installment for 2024. Okay, it is time. The National Football League season for 2024 kicks off tonight. Kansas City, Missouri, and that means it's another year of Gwynn and Chris NFL Pick'em. And if you haven't heard our Pick'em segment in the past, we do it a little differently, I think, than most shows where everybody just sits down and picks the winner of every game. Tony and I do it a little differently. We each pick 3 games. It's a 3-point game. And then the next one's a 2-point game, and then the last one is worth 1 point. And we don't use the spread. And then at the very end, we each get 1 upset pick. The team we pick has to be underdog in the point spread. If they win, we get the number of points that team is underdog by. It'll all become clear to you as we go along here. But Tony was the winner last year.
The champ is here.
The champ is here. 115-106 was the final, Tony. It was a pretty nip-and-tuck battle all season. I think the last week or two I took a couple chances to try to catch up, and you were able to hang on. But I don't think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think either of us have ever won back-to-back years. We've just traded back and forth.
Yeah, we've alternated.
Yeah, so if form holds, then I'll be able to win this year. But it's a long way. We do it all season long. I'll keep tabs on the tally. But away we go. Since Tony's the defending champ, he gets the first pick tonight, or first pick for this weekend. So any game you want, Tony, who is your 3-point pick, team you feel most confident about winning this weekend?
I'll take the Bengals at home.
The Bengals, they are the biggest point spread. They're 8 points over the Patriots. Not many people are expecting much from the Patriots this year, so I think that's a solid 3-point pick. I cannot choose the same games that Tony does. For those who are new to this process, I'll go with the next biggest spread, not just because it is, but I think I like Seattle over Denver. I don't know really why I don't love Seattle, but I do hate Denver. So I think I'll take Seattle at home in the Great Northwest. That'll be my 3-point game. Now Tony gets a 2-point pick.
I don't feel that great about.
Yeah, there's not a lot of obvious gimmies this week.
Yeah, I think the Murray thing is could be a problem for Buffalo, so I'm not feeling that one at 2 points. Oh, you know who I do feel pretty comfortable with? Oh, that's a tough one too, actually.
The good thing is there's no time limit on this. You can take all day to make your selection.
Give me.
And another thing you guys may notice out there as this goes along this year, Tony and I don't take it seriously at all. Like, it's the most important thing we do each week, I think.
Give me the Niners.
The 49ers as your 2-point pick. Skraby will be celebrating that.
No, they're going to be terrible this year.
You stole my 2-point pick. I felt pretty good about the Niners. I agree with you. Buffalo is a solid favorite at home over Arizona, but Buffalo's got a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah.
With a lot of new parts. I'm not really willing to put 2 points on them. I'm going to go with the team I really like, even though their spread is not very big. For 2 points, the Detroit Lions on Sunday night over the Los Angeles Rams. I am very bullish on the Lions, as are a lot of people this year.
Where's that game?
It's in Detroit.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
It'll be a good game, but I just feel good about Detroit this year, so I think they'll win their first game. All right, 1 point game now, Tony, for you.
1 point. How about the upstart Bears?
The Bears. Well, one thing we've discovered about Tony Gwynn Jr.
Yes.
He loves himself some Caleb Williams.
He does.
Yeah. He picked him late in his fantasy draft.
It's not just Caleb Williams.
No, they got some other guys. That's true.
I've kind of softened my stance on Mr. Hebelflus over there.
You liking him? You liking him with his new haircut that his wife made him get?
His haircut, yeah, man. I'm digging him a little bit. I like what they got going over there in Chi-Town.
Well, Hard Knocks did present them as a capable team this year. We'll see if it pans out on the field. Bears are playing the Tennessee Titans, so it seems like a good pick. For my 1 point pick, I'll risk 1 point on Buffalo. They should win, and I don't really see anything else that stands out to me, so I'll take Buffalo for my 1 point pick. All right, now things get kind of interesting as Tony makes his upset pick. The board is wide open. The only games Tony cannot pick an upset in here are the ones he's already chosen. For example, he couldn't take New England now to beat Cincinnati. He's already picked Cincinnati. But you could take any of the games I picked or another game, Tony, for your upset pick. Who do you like? To win straight up this week.
I really like this upset pick.
Okay.
Big time.
All right.
Give me the steel curtain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, is Adam Klug listening here?
Give me the steel curtain. They're going to go into the ATL, smack them birds up, head back to Pittsburgh.
Mike Tomlin and company with, and again, another guy that Tony loves, Russell Wilson.
That's right.
Making his Steeler debut.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's his catchphase while
Let's
he's there?
Let's ride.
Is he trying it again?
Yeah,
you can't bring it over.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
That's right.
I'd be surprised if he sold any T-shirts at all the last year or so.
Everybody burned them if they did buy them.
All right, so that'll be worth 3 points since the Falcons are a 3.5 point favorite. If Tony gets to Pittsburgh, he'll get 3 points. My upset pick is I toyed between two. I think Baltimore has a chance to beat the Chiefs tonight. But the game I like a little better, I have a funny feeling for some reason about the Carolina Panthers. They only won 2 games last year. They go into New Orleans against a team that I don't think is very good. And I think the Panthers are going to be highly motivated to show that this is going to be a different year. So I'll take Carolina to upset New Orleans, and that would be worth 4 points.
Boom.
All right, there are our selections for week 1 of Gwynn and Chris NFL Pick'em, and we'll keep you up to date as the season goes along. And every Thursday, we will have our picks for the upcoming week's games. Now, there they are for week 1. All right, very good. We have a little update for you, though. Gwynn and Chris here, wrapping things up. Going to send it out to Sammy Levitt. But the update is from Kansas City, Skraby. I'm no weather guy, but they're not playing this football game anytime soon in Kansas City. Now, it is raining beyond pouring right now in Kansas City. I mean, you can't even barely see the stadium. It is pouring so bad. All of the fans that were in the seats have been asked to go up underneath, and they're not even allowed them to sit there. I saw some lightning. I don't believe there's been any announcement yet of the game being delayed.
I'm looking at the Doppler radar right now.
But it's certainly under consideration, I would think, for the Chiefs, the Ravens, the NFL to, delay this game somewhat.
It's a small band that's moving through right now.
Thank you.
I'm looking at...
Thank you. What's that guy's name on
Al Roker?
Al Roker. Thank you, Al Roker.
But look, it's a small band of red and yellow. I mean, it looks pretty nasty.
Red and yellow, that's Chiefs colors.
Oh, well, that's good for them then.
So it looks like it's moving through, you're saying.
Yeah, knowing that I just said that, the game's going to be canceled or something.
I don't know. I don't think it's in danger of being canceled. But if you're rushing home to see the first kickoff between the Chiefs and the Ravens, you might end up having a little extra time. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's raining really hard there right now. No such problems here in America's finest city. Beautiful day, a little warm, and tonight the Padres and Los Tigres in Game 3 of a 3-game series. And Sam Levitt has all of the pregame information coming up as the Padres look to pick up a game on the Diamondbacks, who lost earlier today to the Gigantes. Walk-off style win for the Giants. Bob Melvin helping out the cause a little bit there. And then the Giants are on their way here. They'll be here for the weekend.
They will be.
We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock with a Friar Friday show. Make sure you're not late. We'll wrap up however it is the Padres figure out a way to win tonight. And we'll look forward to that. Skraby, you all set? Anything?
I'm all set. I'm ready for everything tonight.
Baseball,
football.
NFL. Boy, great night. All right, stay tuned. More Padres stuff coming up actually next on 97.3 The Fan. So long.